in the east. Mount of Olives lies to the north of the Herodium. The village of Ardis, tucked in the lush green valley, is home to the Hortus Conclusus Nunnery. There is a lot more to the place. Popular tourist attractions in Bethlehem, Shepherd Field, Church of the Nativity, St. Catherine Church, Manger Square, Old Bethlehem Museum, and Herodium Hill. Number 1. Jerusalem. Jerusalem is considered as the holiest land in the world and certainly one of the best places to visit in Israel. Frequented by the religious folks from all over the world, it is glorified by ancient buildings and majestic structures. Take a walk up to Yad Vashem, a memorial dedicated to those who died in the Holocaust. Walk across Dolorosa, the place through which Jesus walked to crucifixion, and behold the city most prominent structure in the form of Golden Dome Mosque that overlooks the Western Wall. The city, having a history of more than 4,000 years, is a mosaic of art, religion, and magnificence. Popular tourist attractions in Jerusalem: the Western Wall, Mar Saba Monastery, visit Yad Vashem, Temple Mount and Dome of Rocks, City of David and Hezekiah Tunnel, and St. George Monastery. Israel is the prized crown jewel of the Middle East. Plan a trip to Israel and make the most of your holidays. Please, if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching and remain blessed.
European countries are a popular choice for immigrants from all over the world. There are few places on the planet that can match the continent's opportunities and standard of living. Not all glitters, however, is gold. As the adage goes, immigrants, particularly those from Africa, put in so much effort to get there that they quickly learn it's a whole different world than the one they were warned about. On their way to Europe, some of these immigrants crossed through Tunisia and Egypt. Many people are unaware that these African countries have some of the lowest living costs in the world. Norway and Switzerland, on the other hand, are the world's third and fourth most expensive countries to live in, respectively, along with the majority of European countries. African countries may not have the same chances and comfort as Europe, but they do have a lower cost of living. 2 of the 10 countries with the lowest cost of living in the world are in Africa, and all 10 are developing countries. Now, here are 10 cheapest countries to live in Africa. Number 10. Kenya. Kenya is Africa's 10th cheapest country to live in. The country has a 39.26 cost of living index. Kenya is still quite inexpensive despite the fact that your lifestyle and choice of commodities and amenities may affect your cost. The country is 45% less expensive than the United States, while Nairobi, the country's largest metropolis, is 50% less expensive than London. The average monthly cost of living in Kenya is between $700 and $2,500. Number 9. Zambia. Second to the last in our list of top cheapest countries to live in Africa is Zambia. Zambia is Africa's least expensive country, ranking 9th with a CDI of 35.59. The Southern African country is considered one of Africa's most beautiful, hospitable, diverse, and unspoiled country. Although the country's cost of living is higher than those of its neighbors, it remains one of the world's most affordable countries. Zambia imports the majority of its products from its neighbors, making them much more expensive. The average cost of living in the country ranges from $600 to $1,200 per month, depending on family size and lifestyle. Number 8. Tanzania. Tanzania is the 8th cheapest country to live in Africa with a CDI of 35.07. The country in East Africa is home to some of Africa's most beautiful game reserves, as well as the continent's tallest peak. The cost of living in Tanzania varies, with Dar es Salaam, the country's largest city, having a higher cost of living than the rest of the country. Tanzania, on the other hand, is still a reasonable priced country. The cost of living in the country could range from $700 to $1,800 per month. Number 7. Morocco. The seventh country on our top cheapest countries in Africa is Morocco. Officially known as the Kingdom of Morocco, does not only have some of the best living conditions in Africa, but it also does so at a low cost. Morocco has a cost of living index of 34.59, making it one of the cheapest locations to live on the planet. This tranquil and lovely country is one of Africa's wealthiest and boasts some of the continent's most breathtaking sceneries. While the cost of commodities such as lodging, transportation, and utilities vary by cities, eating is often inexpensive. Number 6. Rwanda. Rwanda, called the Singapore of Africa, is one of the continent's fastest growing economies with a CDI of 34.01. The East African country is the continent's sixth cheapest country to live in Africa with an annual growth rate of 8.7%. The little country boasts the fastest growing economy in Africa and the second fastest in the world. Number 5. Nigeria. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy and second wealthiest country, is Africa's fifth cheapest country to live in Africa. The rest of the country, outside of the usual playground for the wealthy in areas of Lagos and Abuja, has a cheap cost of living. Because more than half of the country's population live in abject poverty, the government has had to subsidize the cost of several basic goods. Nigeria's CDI is 31.75, making it one of the cheapest places to live on the planet. Number 4. Uganda. The little country in Central Africa is known as the Pearl of Africa. The country's nickname comes from the numerous bodies of water that line its borders. Despite its beauty, Uganda remains one of Africa's most affordable countries to live in Africa. With a CDI of 31.72, the country is the fourth cheapest country to live in Africa. Number 3. Algeria. Here is Algeria at the top 3 of our list of cheapest countries to live in Africa. The country is officially known as the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Algeria is the largest country on the African continent and the 10th largest country in the world. The country is known for producing some of the world's greatest dates. Algeria is the third cheapest country to live in Africa. A CDI of 30.54 has been assigned to it. Algeria is one of only a few countries in the world that has reduced poverty by 20% in the last 2 decades. The Algerian government has taken great steps to enhance the lives of its citizens by enacting social policies that are in accordance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Algeria's oil boom has allowed the government to service the country's external debt, investing in infrastructure, and enhance the country's human development indicators. In addition, the country provides free healthcare to its inhabitants. Number 2. Egypt. Amongst top countries to live in Africa, given its vast tourism sector, Egypt may not strike you as a cheap destination. Egypt is a place that appeals to both adventurers and history buffs. It has natural beauty, ancient temples and tombs, as well as some of the world's most magnificent wonders. The CDI of this North African country is 29.09. Aside from the inexpensive cost of living, real estate investment opportunities are gaining popularity. This has resulted in a real estate boom in Egypt. Housing, on the other hand, is relatively inexpensive in the country. Number 1. Tunisia. Here, we have the first country amongst top cheapest countries to live in Africa. Finally, we arrive in Africa's most affordable destination. Tunisia is a small, gorgeous Mediterranean country. The country is the cheapest in Africa and the 5th cheapest in the world. Tunisia's CDI is 25.43 with a population of 11 million people. Food and housing are quite inexpensive in the nation, and it is 94 times less expensive to live in than New York. That is all there is to it. The cheapest countries to live in Africa. Do you live in or have you traveled to any of these countries? If you have, please leave a comment below with your thoughts on cost and expenses in any of the countries. If you haven't, tell us what are your expectations and your dreams traveling to any of these countries.
These 10 best places to live in California. California is widely regarded as the coolest state in the United States. Not cool as in the weather, it is mostly sizzling all year long, even in winter, but the most fashionable place to stay. California is in its own league, compared to other states. To give you an idea, if California were a country, it would have been the 6th largest economy in the world. But being such a large state, there is a wide discrepancy in quality between the best and the worst places to live in California, and we are here to talk about what makes it the best place to live, the best. The weather is great. The beaches are gorgeous. The people are beautiful. It is home to Hollywood royalty. The tech capital of the world, Silicon Valley, is located here. And there is just about everything. It is one of the few places in the world where you can go from skiing, to surfing, to sandboarding in the desert, all on the same day. California undeniably plays a big role in shaping our world today, between Hollywood, dominating the international media game, and tech giants, like Facebook and Google acting as global leaders in the handling of data. You cannot compare California cultural ascendancy. It is little wonder everyone wants to move here, and in actual fact, this happens to be the most populous state, with the largest economy in the U.S. Healthcare and education in California are among the best in the country, ranking the Golden State in the top 10 states, according to a recent U.S. News & World Report. However, California came in at number 23, when all other criteria were factored in: crime and corrections, economy, infrastructure, opportunity and government, with the last two contributing majorly to the drop. Overall though, there can be no denying that California is a dream, with a magnetic allure that is hard to resist for most people. Here are the 10 best places in California. Number 10. Los Altos. Los Altos, one of many Silicon Valley representatives to make the cut this year. Unsurprisingly, residents of Los Altos are highly educated, with over half of folks having a master's degree or higher. Bigger degrees lead to bigger paychecks, which leaves the residents of Los Altos in the comfortable position of earning around $240,094 yearly. So, while the $2 million price tag on homes in Los Altos is quite expensive, the overall cost of living is actually quite reasonable. If you want to settle down in Los Altos for good, you are in luck, because the local schools scored an average of 9 to 10 on great schools. On top of that, Los Altos has the 28th lowest rate of violent crime in California. With all of these awesome features, it is not surprising that the Los Altos Farmers Market is one of the city's top attractions. If your shopping needs fall outside the purview of a farmers market, Santana Row in San Jose is just a 15-minute drive away. Population, 30,878. Rank last year, 1, no change. Median home value, $2 million. Unemployment rate, 3 to 6%. Number 9. Los Altos Hills. We do not need to drive very far to arrive at California's best city to call home, Los Altos Hills. The unemployment rate in Los Altos Hills is a mere 2 to 1%, the 10th lowest of anywhere on this list. Which makes sense when you consider that a staggering 50% of Los Altos Hills population has received at least a master's degree, seeing as you cannot find a person with a PhD out of work. It also explains why folks in Los Altos Hills earn around $250,001 yearly, the third highest in California. Los Altos has the 12th lowest overall crime rate in the state, about 75% below the national average. So, you can take full advantage of the 24 miles of trails available at Rancho San Antonio without fearing for your safety. Overview of Los Altos Hills. Population, 8,496. Rank last year, 3, up 1. Median home value, $2,001,001. Unemployment rate, 2.1%. Number 8. Villa Park. Located in Orange County to the east of Anaheim, and north of Santa Ana, is our third best place to live in California. Villa Park. While the main draw of the town may be its proximity to major cities, it also offers a lot of quality shopping options, in the town center, restaurants, and local amenities. But what really stands out about Villa Park? The near absence of crime. The city has the lowest rate of violent crime in the Golden State, per the latest FBI data. That means it is safe to let your kids walk to school, or keep your doors unlocked during the day. Overview of Villa Park. Population, 5,883. Rank last year, 14, up 11. Median home value, $1,238,800. Unemployment rate, 2.2%. Number 7. Cupertino. Ever wonder why Cupertino is the default option for weather on the iPhone? That is because it's actually addition to being one of the best places to live in California. Cupertino is also the home of Apple headquarters. Being the hub of a tech behemoth like Apple, it is not a surprise that Cupertino population of 59,799 is hyper-educated, with more than 40% of residents having a master's, PhD, or professional degree. All that extra time in school really pays off, because folks in Cupertino enjoys a median household income of $182,857 per year, which you will need to pay off the $1,866,200 mortgage. Only 1 to 4% of people are on SNAP and 2.6% of people are without health insurance, so you know the residents of Cupertino are not struggling to get by. We all know you cannot really consider yourself a part of the elite, unless you are a wine snob, so be sure to get in on the culture at one of the several vineyards in the Cupertino area. Overview of Cupertino. Population, 59,799. Rank last year, 9, up 5. Median home value, $1,866,200. Unemployment rate, 2.5%. Number 6. Aliso Viejo. We are departing from Silicon Valley and heading towards Los Angeles, Orange County to arrive at Aliso Viejo, the 5th best place to live in California. Aliso Viejo is a vibrant, youthful city where the median age is only 37. It is also the most densely populated city you will see on this list, so if you crave constant activity, Aliso Viejo is probably your jam. Aliso Viejo has the 148th best home price to income ratio. That low cost of living means you will not have to break the bank to enjoy yourself here. As a bonus, you will not have any trouble getting friends and family to come visit you in Aliso Viejo, because Disneyland is just a hop, skip, and jump away. Overview of Aliso Viejo. Population, 50,385. Rank last year, 2, down 3. Median home value, $656,600. Unemployment rate, 3.5%. Number 5. Saratoga. Saratoga is a city of 31,084, located on the western side of the Santa Clara Valley. Of all the San Jose suburbs, Saratoga is the closest to Big Basin Redwood State Park, California's oldest state park and home to the largest stand of redwoods south of San Francisco. That ought to satisfy even the most voracious nature lover. Public schools in Saratoga received a 9 to 10 on great schools, so you know kids get off to a good start growing up here. Which obviously translates into greater success in later life, seeing as over 40% of residents have a master's degree or higher. One good thing leads to another, because residents of Saratoga earn a median household income of $201,046, the 8th highest in Cali. Overview of Saratoga. Population, 31,084. Rank last year, 7, up 1 median home value, $2,001,001. Unemployment rate, 4.0%. Number 4. Tiburon. Located at the tip of the Tiburon Peninsula, reaching into the San Francisco Bay, Tiburon ranks as one of the best places to live in California. Tiburon poverty level of 1.3% is the second lowest in the state, and the 4.2% unemployment rate is the 97th lowest. Which helps explain why 98.0% of Tiburon residents have health insurance, the 28th highest rate of coverage in California. Tiburon has the 28th lowest rate of crime in California, so you probably will not need the health insurance to cover you for an assault. Tiburon is also a great jumping-off point for getting to Angel Island for a 360-degree view of San Francisco Bay Area, or the imposing Alcatraz Island for a history lesson. Overview of Tiburon. Population, 9,167. Rank last year, 6, down 1 median home value, $2,001,001. Unemployment rate, 4.2%. Number 3. Mission Viejo. Mission Viejo is located in the southern part of the greater Los Angeles metro area, outside of Irvine. The city offers plenty of outdoor activities for you and your family, as there's plenty of shopping to be had at the shops at Mission Viejo, and hiking to be done at Mission Viejo Lake and Rancho Santa Margarita Lake. It finds itself as one of the best places to live in California for 2022, because of a low crime rate, a ton of things to do, a relatively low cost of living for California, and a solid school system. Great Schools ranks the school systems as some of the best in Southern California. Overview of Mission Viejo. Population, 95,638. Rank last year, 19, up 11 median home value, $732,100. Unemployment rate, 4.2%. Number 2. Palos Verdes Estates. Next on our list of the best places to live in California is Palos Verdes Estates, a city of 13,359 located just south of Los Angeles. For some, it will be enough to mention that Disneyland is just a short drive away, to convince them that moving to Palos Verdes Estates is a good course of action. But even if you are not into Mickey and the gang, there is plenty to love right in your neighborhood, like having the Palos Verdes Estates Shoreline Preserve Beach, a rocky beach and bluff, to visit year-round. Palos Verdes is exceptionally safe, with the 7th lowest overall crime rate in California. That may have something to do with how educated residents are, considering that over 30% of people have a master's degree or higher. More degrees lead to bigger paychecks, and Palos Verdes Estates residents prove that with a median household income of $197,826, which is kind of essential when your typical Palos Verdes Estates home sells for $1,935,900. Unemployment is at rock bottom levels, thanks to low levels of high school dropouts. In fact, Great Schools gave Palos Verdes Estates schools an average score of 8 to 10%, so everyone is set up for success here. Overview of Palos Verdes Estates. Population, 13,359. Rank last year, 10, up 1, median home value, $1,935,900. Unemployment rate, 2.1%. Number 1. Coronado. I imagine if you live in Coronado, you consider yourself lucky and do not need us to be singing your praises. The city is literally an island off of San Diego, which means that it has beaches to the east and beaches to the west. You get to enjoy all that San Diego has to offer, while getting to live the island life. And the island life is not really an exaggeration. Some of the best things to do on the island include going tide pooling, boating on the bay, or a bonfire on the beach. And after all that time on the beach, you can peruse downtown Coronado shopping. The overall quality of life in Coronado is very high, as people make good incomes, unemployment is low, and crime is basically not in existence. Overview of Coronado. Population, 24,526. Rank last year, 16, up 6 median home value, $1,656,800. Unemployment rate, 4.0%. Please, if this is your first time, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks and remain blessed.
20 most beautiful castles in the world built by kings and queens of years gone by to protect and rule their realms. Castles had not only to be able to withstand attack but project power and wealth for all to see. As such, sturdy keeps and imposing walls were erected alongside marvelous palaces full of ornate and elaborate chambers, halls, and throne rooms. In addition to the astounding architecture on show, these castles were often built at strategic and spectacular settings at the mouths of valleys, at the entrance to mountain passes, or on glittering loch shores. Add in the weight of history, and these architectural marvels, set amongst breathtaking scenery, make for some of the most beautiful castles in the world. Here is the 20 most beautiful castles in the world. Number 20. Hohenwerfen Castle. Perched upon a rocky mount, with the breathtaking Berchtesgaden Alps lying in the background, Hohenwerfen Castle certainly makes for an epic sight. Built between 1075 and 1078, the castle and its sturdy walls are set in the gorgeous valley of Salzach, which lies just to the south of Salzburg in Austria. Throughout its history, it not only acted as an imposing fort, residence, and hunting retreat for the archbishops of Salzburg, but also as a state prison. Now a museum, Hohenwerfen Castle is well worth visiting for its fascinating history and stunning setting amidst the mountains. Number 19. Trakai Island Castle. As the name indicates, this magnificent castle is set upon a small island with the sparkling waters of Lake Galf surrounding it. Located just outside of Vilnius, the imposing red brick fortification was once of the utmost strategic importance to the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. First erected in the second half of the 14th century, the castle and its magnificent ducal palace were restored to their original look and style in the 1960s. The Gothic and Romanesque features of Trakai Island Castle look particularly arresting when viewed from across the shimmering waters of the lake. Number 18. Castello di Miramare. Very elegant and refined, the brilliantly white walls of Castello di Miramare stand out delightfully against the glimmering waters of the Gulf of Trieste. Lying a stone throw away from Trieste, in the northeast of Italy, the castle was built in the 1850s to house Austrian Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian and his wife. Very befitting of the Habsburgs, the beautiful setting and design of the castle are perfectly complemented by lavish gardens and a spectacular seashore park. Now a very popular museum, Castello di Miramare attracts visitors from all over the world who come to see its original furnishings and rooms in all of their splendor. Number 17. Predjama Castle. Set directly in the side of a large, craggy cliff face, Predjama is certainly one of the most visually arresting castles on Earth. Nestled in the mouth of a cave, its advantageous position made it very hard to attack, and defenders could replenish their supplies through a hidden network of cave passages. Built and destroyed numerous times over the centuries, Predjama Castle can be found just a short drive away from Slovenia capital of Ljubljana. A great time of year to visit is in July, when it hosts a colorful and chaotic medieval festival and jousting competition. Number 16. Kylemore Abbey. Originally known as Kylemore Castle, this fantastic fortification in the west of Ireland was turned into a Benedictine monastery by Belgian nuns fleeing the fighting of World War I. Built in 1868 to be the private home of a wealthy doctor, the Victorian-style buildings and Gothic church of the estate are beautifully reflected in the waters of Polycopal Loch. With delightful mountains, reflective lakes, and gushing rivers all around it, Kylemore Abbey has long been one of County Galway's most popular attractions, and many people come to stroll around its landscaped gardens. Number 15. Conwy Castle. Located in the north of Wales, Conwy Castle was built, all the way back in 1283, by Edward I of England, who was attempting to conquer his unruly neighbors. Set at a strategic spot on the banks of the River Conwy, the imposing castle played a crucial role in many battles and wars for centuries to come. Featuring not only 2 hulking barbicans, but 8 large and impenetrable towers, the castle is widely considered to be one of the finest examples of military architecture in Europe. While its massive, silvery gray stone walls and riverside location certainly make for a beautiful sight, its interior is no less impressive due to its well-preserved, medieval royal apartments. Number 14. Bamburgh Castle. Built atop a wind-swept bluff on the northeast coast of England, the large and looming Bamburgh Castle has a long and fascinating history for visitors to delve into. Once the site of a Celtic Brittonic fort, some form of fortification has remarkably stood in the same spot ever since the year 420. Constructed in the 11th century by the Normans, the current castle long acted as an important outpost for the English monarchs because of its proximity to the Scottish border. Due to its romantic and desolate seaside setting and its majestic turrets and crumbling crenellations, the photogenic Bamburgh Castle has featured in numerous books and films over the years. Number 13. Château de Chillon. Lying at the eastern end of Lake Geneva, Château de Chillon makes for a spectacular sight, particularly when the snow-covered dense Midi are visible in the background. An earlier version of the castle was first built by the Romans to guard the strategic passes through the nearby mountains. Set on a small island that is connected to the lakeshore by a delightful little bridge, the Swiss chateau features some arresting and artistic architecture which is magically reflected in the waters around it. A popular day trip from Geneva, Château de Chillon also has some elegant halls and courtyards for visitors to check out, as well as an atmospheric crypt. Number 12. Windsor Castle. Famed around the world for being the home of the British royal family, Windsor Castle has long been one of the United Kingdom's most popular tourist destinations. Remarkably, the castle is not only the longest occupied palace in the world, but also the largest. The sheer size and scale of the royal residence beggars belief, and taking a tour around the luxurious and seemingly never-ending state apartments is simply a must. Originally built in the 11th century, Windsor Castle Georgian and Victorian design, extravagant Baroque interiors, and refined Rococo furnishings all make it one of the finest and fanciest castles on earth. Number 11. De Haar Castle. Rising from amidst a tangled mess of lovingly landscaped rose gardens, the elegant turrets and towers of De Haar Castle appear all the more magical. Neo-Gothic in design, the beautiful castle is set just outside of Utrecht in the Netherlands, with magnificent moats, lakes, and gardens all around it. Its interior is no less impressive, as its 200 rooms are all lavishly decorated with priceless paintings and fabulous furnishings. While the earliest mention of the castle is in 1391, the current romanticized version dates to 1892, when it was restored and refurbished from its ruinous state. Number 10. Corvin Castle. Built in a marvelous Gothic, Renaissance style, Corvin Castle in Transylvania is one of the largest castles in the whole of Europe. Set on a hilltop overlooking the Zlatu River, the 15th century fortress proudly boasts a number of lofty towers, as well as impregnable walls and a sturdy drawbridge. Numerous myths and legends swirl around the Romanian castle. Its attractive and fairy-tale-esque look has seen it featured in numerous television shows and films. Number 9. Cochem Castle. Set in a scenic spot overlooking the town of Cochem and the Moselle River, the castle of the same name is surrounded by rolling, green hills with lush forests and vineyards all around it. While a castle has stood on the same hilltop since at least the year 1130, the original was destroyed by the marauding troops of Louis IV in 1688. Restored and rebuilt in a gorgeous Gothic revival style, the current castle is now a popular tourist attraction in the German Rhineland. While Cochem Castle is fascinating to explore, the views from its turrets and towers of the valley, town, and river below are just as spellbinding. Number 8. Swallow Nest. The delightfully named Swallow Nest can be found perched dramatically on the edge of a cliff top in the Crimean Peninsula. Overlooking the shimmering waters of the Black Sea, the daintily decorated castle was built in 1911, following very romantic, neo-Gothic designs. Having featured in numerous films in Soviet times, the Swallow Nest is now a popular place to visit amongst tourists who come to ogle at its precarious setting, refined architecture, and the stunning views on offer. Number 7. Spies Castle. Located in the northeast of Slovakia, Spies Castle has dominated its surroundings ever since it was built in 1241. Due to its cultural, economic, and political importance to the Kingdom of Hungary, the castle kept growing in size until it became the enormous fortress it is today. Boasting impressive and imposing stone walls and towers, as well as a wonderful, Romanesque palace, Spies Castle now serves as an interesting and educational museum. With commanding views out over the hills and valleys to be enjoyed from its battlements, this magnificent fort is not to be missed out on when in Slovakia. Number 6. Hohenzollern Castle. Whether viewed emerging from the treetops which surround it, or from amidst the clouds which swirl around its walls, Hohenzollern Castle always makes for an epic sight. Perched atop of a prominent mount of the same name, the castle and Gothic Revival Palace exhibit some astounding architecture, and the halls and chambers within are just as delightfully decorated. While the current castle was only completed in 1867, a fortress has stood upon the same mount since at least the 11th century. One of the most visited castles in the whole of Germany, Hohenzollern is still owned by the royal house of the same name. Number 5. Alcazar of Segovia. Shaped very much like the bow of a ship, Alcazar of Segovia has long attracted sightseers due to its distinctive design and breathtaking setting. Indeed, the castle magnificent keep and slim towers look particularly dashing, considering they are perched atop a rocky outcrop overlooking the confluence of two rivers. Located in the center of Spain, its well-preserved palace is full of elegant rooms and halls that are covered in art and fine furnishings. Now a popular museum, the Alcazar of Segovia also has a well-equipped armory and collection of weapons for visitors to peruse. Number 4. Bran Castle. Commonly known outside of Romania as Dracula's Castle, Bran Castle certainly looks the part. The forbidding fortress lies hidden in a forest in Transylvania. Despite its eerie appearance, however, the castle only has tenuous links at best with the cruel and barbaric 15th century ruler Vlad the Impaler, who inspired Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. Clever marketing ploy aside, Bran Castle is definitely worth visiting for its amazing architecture and beautiful setting in a lush valley. In addition to this, visitors can now enjoy exploring the castle's many rooms, which house the extensive art and furniture collection of Queen Marie. Number 3. Peine Castle. Certainly the brightest and most daringly designed and decorated castle on this list, Peine Palace as it more commonly goes by really is as unique as they come. Awash with color, the vivid yellows and reds of its walls shine forth from its prominent hilltop setting in the Sintra Mountains, just outside of Lisbon. Completed in 1854 in a Romanticist style, its imaginative design is a joy to gaze upon, and the views from its ramparts and gardens are not half bad either. Taking in all its fantastic features, and exotic and extravagant architectural styles is sure to be one of the highlights of any trip to Portugal. Number 2. Donan. Located at the point where three lochs meet, Donan in Scotland is truly blessed when it comes to its spectacular setting. While the original castle is thought to have been built on the small island sometime in the 13th century, the current romanticized and reimagined reincarnation only dates to the 20th century. Although its crumbling gray walls and undistinguished features may not look quite as impressive as many other castles, it is its gorgeous surroundings that really set it apart. Having featured in countless films and television shows over the decades, Donan is certainly one of the most famous and recognizable castles in the whole of Europe. Number 1. Neuschwanstein Castle. Perched atop a forested mount with the majestic Bavarian Alps behind it, Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria looks as if it has just emerged from a book of children's fairy tales. Only completed in 1886, the castle's delightful design draws from both Romanticism, architecture and Ludwig love and appreciation for the operas of Richard Wagner. Fittingly, the photogenic palace, with its beautiful towers and glorious entrance, actually served as the inspiration for the Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland. Full of incredible artworks and precious paintings, the interior of the castle is no less exceptional. Visitors can take a tour around its luxurious halls and chambers. One of the most popular tourist attractions in Germany, Neuschwanstein Castle is widely considered to be one of the most beautiful castles in the world, thanks to its fabulous design and breathtaking setting. Please, if this is your first time, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching and remain blessed. Thanks for watching and remain blessed. Top 10 places to visit in Finland. While not a piece of Scandinavia, Finland brags some similar attributes as its adjoining nations. Extraordinary landscape, untainted nature, and a moderately liberal, present-day political framework are largely certain properties of Finland. In the colder time of year, the northern lights can be found in the northernmost piece of the country, while in hotter months, numerous Finns love to make a beeline for their late spring houses to appreciate some swimming, fishing, grilling. However, most of the sauna. When visiting Finland, it is normal to go to Helsinki, yet your agenda ought to likewise incorporate different objections past the capital. From modest communities to characteristic ponders, this rundown features the best places to visit in Finland. Here are the top 10 places to visit in Finland. Number 10. Levi. With such a lot of untainted scenes, Finland is a nature sweetheart fantasy objective. For outside lovers, the winter resort of Levi is, without a doubt, a top pick for the sake of entertainment. Situated in Finnish Lapland, Levi brags miles of trails for skiing and snowboarding. There are additional openings for more strange exercises like reindeer safaris, ice fishing trips, and unwinding in enormous, open-air saunas. The nightlife in Levi is a significant draw for Finnish inhabitants, so do not leave until you have investigated the bars, parlors, and clubs in central Levi. Number 9. Tampere. Despite the fact that it is the third biggest city in Finland, Tampere is as yet not an enormous metropolitan territory, and it seems more like an assortment of neighborhoods than a significant city. To get a comprehension of Tampere's set of experiences and legacy, look at the Vaporiiki, a historical center complex, lodging the Natural History Museum and the Finnish Hockey Hall of Fame, among others. Outside diversions like skiing and hockey are unbelievably famous in Tampere, yet the less physically slanted can agree to a walk around open-air center points like Duck Park or the Hatampa Arboretum. The famous Sarkanimi adventure park on the edge of downtown highlights an aquarium, a planetarium, a youngster's zoo, a craftsmanship gallery, and a perception tower with extraordinary perspectives on the woods and lakes. Number 8. Åland Archipelago. In the core of the Baltic Sea is an assortment of islands known as the Åland Archipelago. While they have a place with Finland, the islands run moderately self-sufficiently. Bizarrely, this is one piece of Finland where you are bound to hear inhabitants communicating in Swedish than Finnish. Ships transport guests between the Åland Islands, offering you the opportunity to see attractions like the boat-turned-historical center, called the Pommern, the Åland Maritime Museum, the 14th century palace called Kastelholm, and the miles of dazzling, climbing trails. Try not to miss the culinary claim to fame of the archipelago, a pastry hotcake finished off with stewed plums and whipped cream. Number 7. Kemi. Mechanically, Kemi is a city in Finnish Lapland that is known best for its mash plants. Explorers, be that as it may, know Kemi best as the area of the notable Snow Palace. The palace is assembled yearly, and it tends to be 3 stories tall and fill in as the scene for weddings and live melodic exhibitions. Visitors can even remain for the time being in the snow lodging, should they pick. Kemi likewise has a clamoring nightlife scene, and the objective is the place where you can board the cold icebreaker visit that breezes through the icy waters, looking for stunning chunks of ice and inconceivable perspectives. Number 6. Finnish Lakeland. As the name recommends, Finnish Lakeland is a space of Finland where there is a wealth of lakes. There are around 55,000 lakes here that are in any event 200 meters wide. The area is spread across focal and eastern Finland, and it is limited by the dazzling Salpaselkä ridges, just as the Russian line. The biggest lake in the area is Lake Saimaa, where you can swim, boat, or simply climb the edge and absorb the perspectives. While in Finnish Lakeland, you can likewise investigate the college town of Jyväskylä or the Middle Age St. Olaf's Castle. Number 5. Turku. Along the shore of southern Finland is Turku, a city that was filled in as the capital of Finland for a significant part of the 19th century and is additionally accepted to be the most seasoned in the country. Even though Helsinki has since a long time ago taken over as the capital, Turku is as yet a significant objective in Finland, and it is home to endless, noteworthy attractions and social milestones. A portion of the top things to see in Turku incorporate the 13th century Turku Castle, the twin galleries, called the Boavides and Ars Nova, and the neighborhood of Luostrinmäki, which is one of only a few regions with the design that endure the mid-19th century fire around there. Number 4. Santa Claus Village. Santa Claus Village is a carnival in Rovaniemi, in the Lapland locale of Finland. It was opened in 1985. Santa Claus Village is situated around 8 kilometers upper east of Rovaniemi and around 2 kilometers from the Rovaniemi airport. The first unique home of Santa Claus was Korvatunturi. In 1985, Rovaniemi was pronounced as an authority old neighborhood of Santa Claus. This beautiful event, congregation settled in the blanketed heaps of Lapland, is Finland variant of a Disneyland. With ice eateries, imposing and reindeer sleigh rides, and igloo lodging, and safaris and journeys, you are certain to discover something that interests you here. Your Finland travel is inadequate without a visit to this visual treat. Number 3. Savonlinna. A little city in the core of Finnish Lakeland, Savonlinna is a beguiling, memorable objective worth a visit on your next excursion to Finland. Situated in Lake Saimaa, on a progression of islands, the region's greatest fascination is certainly Olavinlinna, or St. Olaf's Castle, which was implicit in the 15th century. Since the palace area was not militarily or politically significant, for quite a long time it has withstood the trial of time and remains, to a great extent, flawless and outfitted. Additionally worth looking at in Savonlinna is the Orthodox Museum, the Savonlinna Provincial Museum, and close by Karamaki, where the world's greatest wooden church is found. In Savonlinna Market Square, make certain to delve into Maruku, or a neighborhood herring dish, from one of the numerous merchants around there. Number 2. Rovaniemi. Assuming you need to encounter the magnificence of Lapland, Rovaniemi is a definitive entryway to everything. The capital of Finnish Lapland, Rovaniemi was annihilated toward the finish of the Second World War. Accordingly, a significant part of engineering is mid-century and brutalist in the plan. While Rovaniemi is home to various magnificent attractions, a feature is without a doubt that it fills in as the authority Finnish home to Santa Claus. Guests can visit Santa Claus Village, get stamps from the Santa Claus post office, and even visit the Santa-themed underground entertainment mecca. Non-Christmas attractions in Rovaniemi incorporate the Korendi House of Culture, the Pilk Science Center, and the designing accomplishment known as the Jaakkinkintila Bridge. Number 1. Helsinki. As the nation capital, Helsinki is the most mainstream spot to visit in Finland, and an objective you will not have any desire to miss. On the off chance that Helsinki looks a ton like St. Petersburg, it is because it was worked to duplicate the Russian city style in 1812. Today, a portion of the principal attractions in Helsinki incorporate the numerous holy places, the three generally significant of which incorporate the Lutheran Cathedral, the Church in the Rock, and the Ouspensky Cathedral. The arena that filled in as the site of the 1952 Olympics merits a visit, similar to the craftsmanship, deco design of the Parliament House. While there are many brilliant exhibition halls and displays in Helsinki, truly outstanding to see is the National Museum of Finland, which works effectively of following Finnish history over the long haul. Please, if this is your first time, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching and remain blessed.
10. Best places to live in Canada. If you are thinking about moving for a fresh start, or you're looking to save money with more affordable housing, you may be wondering, what are the best places to live in Canada? After looking through various statistics and reports, we've compiled a list of the best places to live in Canada. But in reality, best is a highly subjective term, so we've based these rankings on different factors, whether that be economic, average house, rental prices, estimated cost of living, or overall experiences, availability of cultural events, restaurant variety. Canada frequently ranks at the top of lifestyle lists, because it offers good employment opportunities and has decent standards of healthcare and education. It's a first world nation, with a very open immigration policy, and the quality of life can be excellent. Middle-class Canadians can usually afford to live in detached houses. Property costs tend to be cheaper in Canada than in the UK or in the USA, partly because the country is so vast that there is no space restriction. Having said that, in the most built-up areas, such as downtown Toronto, where there is high demand for space, costs can be higher. The one downside of Canada, most often quoted, is the climate. But despite what many people think, Canada is not covered in snow for 6 months of the year. It's relatively easy to find a part of Canada where winter isn't as harsh, and it's much easier to cope with the cold. Two things to remember about Canada's winters are that the nation is fully geared up to cope with snow and ice, and therefore infrastructure does not fail as it does in other countries. Secondly, life is structured around the winter weather so that sports and community events embrace the conditions. Canada certainly has more positives than it does negatives. So, if you would be emigrating